Greetings friends, and welcome back to my channel, Desert Dweller Adventures. I'm Steve, and this is a little room I like to call the Saguaro Study. It's a little space in my home where I like to do a lot of reading, writing, thinking, and also a lot of research on trips that I like to go on. And today I am looking into a trip going into the Superstition Wilderness, a backpacking trip that is, and poring over some maps and some guidebooks to get a good idea of what I can expect. So as some of you may know, I've had some injuries over the last couple of years that have sort of hindered my ability to get on the trail as much as I'd like. However, those injuries have healed sufficiently to where I'm ready to get back out there, sling the pack on my back and hit the trail. So this time I'll be heading out with my buddy Dave to the Superstition Wilderness, which is not too far from where we live. Well, I do use technology for planning these trips, like Gaia GPS, and I have a Garmin InReach Mini that I take with me on all of my hikes, and I use some online tools as well. However, I am a sucker for a good old paper map. I love unfurling it, studying it, checking out the lines of elevation, how the trails crisscross each other. I like researching where the peaks are, the valleys, the sources of water, the different canyons. And I find that if I do that, it really helps prepare me a little bit better for getting out there, having a good background of what I can expect. As I've said, this will be hopefully a pretty easy hike since it's been a while. But we'll be going to a place called Reavis Ranch that is on the eastern side of the Superstition Wilderness area. We'll be driving up a pretty bumpy road to get to the Rogers Trough trailhead, where we'll don our packs and head down the canyon for about 1.5 miles before taking the turn up northeast, climbing about 1,000 feet before reaching Reavis Saddle, down into Reavis Valley, and then ultimately we'll stay a couple of nights at Reavis Ranch. At least that's the plan. We'll be heading out after work on a Friday, so we'll see how far we get. So the plan is to start here at the Rogers Trough trailhead. From there we'll head down the canyon, turn here, start climbing. You can see there's several switchbacks through this area. This is about the 1,000-foot climb, I believe, before we get to the saddle. From the saddle, we'll slowly descend down and make our way into the Reavis Valley. We'll probably camp somewhere around here, I believe, and spend a couple of nights there, and then, like I said, do some exploring on some of the trails around here. And just like that, we're at the trailhead. Well, maybe not just like that. It took us a little while to get here. Very bumpy road. But all's well that ends well. It's 3 o'clock, almost on the nose, and we are about to hit the trail. And this section does go on the Arizona Trail. I don't know how long. Dave's getting us signed in. Got some nice cloud cover, and this says 66 degrees. I wonder if that's right. Let's get going. There is no rain in the forecast. I did see that there might be a breeze Hopefully not up here. Pretty cool. Little canyon down there, some pools of water still. Not moving, but at least there's some water. And we're heading a little further, and I think that we loop back this way, and then that's leads to Reavis Saddle. Well, this is the junction, as you can see. Rogers Canyon keeps going that way, and Reavis Ranch goes up that way. We are staying on Trail 109, heading to Reavis Ranch. And I think it's going to be uphill for a while. Well, the good news is my ankle's doing fine, my knee's doing fine, my neck is doing fine. About an hour and a half in, and just getting close to 3 miles. This last stretch has been not really bad, but all uphill, a bunch of switchbacks. And I don't know anybody that loves switchbacks. I think we're about at the last, I don't know, 100, 200 foot elevation gain to the saddle. Well, we made it to the saddle. It's all down here from here, Dave.
Yeah.
What did I say? Down here from here?
Yeah.
I'm only slightly exhausted. Had to bring a lot of water with us because we were unsure of how much water might be out here. It's been very dry for quite a while. So we each brought at least 6 liters, which adds to your pack weight considerably. As we're hiking down into the Reavis Valley, I think we're passing through an area that had been burned in wildfire several years ago. I'm not sure if it was the Woodbury fire or something like that, but with a cloudy day and these trees around, it kind of like a haunted forest. Only mildly creepy. It's always gratifying when you make it up over a pass and you come down into a valley, especially when you're greeted with some big old pine trees here and there. Spectacular. Boost my spirit. I could go a whole other mile or two. Well, it's about 6:15. The sun is about to go over the mountains over there. We've gone 6.6 miles. So my guess of 6.5 miles to Reavis Ranch was inaccurate. But we are still enjoying going through the forest here. We've passed a few pretty cool little campsites, but we've decided to keep pushing to the ranch area. And I think we just went through a place that's called Log Trough Canyon, just a little section there. Oh, check it out. Cool. Cool rock formations. Yeah, so we're hoping to get to make camp before it gets too dark. And then we're gonna probably eat and not do much else. We're both feeling it. But it still feels good. All right, let's keep going. We found camp.
We did it.
3.5 hours of hiking, roughly.
Yeah.
It's 6:35.
6.5 miles.
Well, good morning. It's a little after 6 a.m. and it's a bit chilly out, so I've been reluctant to get out of bed. But I slept well. So we put in some miles yesterday and we were both pretty tired. So we crashed pretty early. Actually, it was a little bit past 9 o'clock, so we stayed up a bit. Had a nice fire for a while and just relaxed. But I suppose I'm gonna get up and very likely make me some coffee.
Morning, Dave. It's a beautiful morning. A little chilly though.
Yeah. Yeah.
My fingers are cold.
Read to me a poem, sing to you a song, drunk in my devotion, laid out on your chest, student of abandon, with you I am blessed, all I want in a dream.
I'm just taking a little stroll this morning. Crossed the little creek down from our camp and just admiring. There's some massive junipers all around this area. I believe they're alligator junipers, referring to the pattern of the bark. But also there's lots of little camps here and remnants of the past. See this one that I'm standing in, the makeshift old stove or a fireplace of some kind. Well, to quote Jeff Goldblum from Jurassic Park, this tree reminds me of that, where he says life finds a way. This tree is still alive. Somehow.
You could call it a vision. You could call it a vision. You could call it a vision.
Well, I've taken a nice little walkabout, played around with my new camera, but I still need some some work on, but I'll get there. But now it's breakfast time. And this morning for me, that means cereal. I'm going to use my little snap bowl here if I remember how to do it. There we go. A little powdered milk and granola. And let's hope it doesn't end up all over the floor.
After breakfast, Dave and I wandered around the area to check out the ruins of homesteads and old ranch equipment. Reavis Ranch sits in a rare sweet spot where cool air, abundant springs, and rich soil made growing crops possible in the otherwise unforgiving desert. Elijah Marcus Reavis settled here in the late 1800s. He was known as the Hermit of the Superstitions. But he wasn't exactly a recluse. He grew vegetables, raised chickens, taught school, and even packed supplies into remote mining camps. At nearly 6,000 feet elevation, Reavis planted an apple orchard that somehow still survives over a century later, still producing apples long after the man himself died. Reportedly, he was found face down on the trail in 1896, possibly poisoned or simply worn out by his wild life. After Reavis's death, the ranch passed through various hands and was used for cattle grazing and homesteading. But time, fire, and the wilderness have reclaimed much of it.
Well, although I should have plenty of water, I do want to try to gather some water here and filter it, just to stay in practice, if nothing else. All right, so I use the Sawyer squeeze, but I'm trying to gravity feed this time. So this will be the clean water, the dirty water over there hanging. Put this cap on there, put the tube on, then dirty water in here, clean water out there. Attach this to there. All right, it's lunchtime, and I'm down on the ground. That's where we make lunch. Today is going to be a tuna wrap. I got jalapeno flavored tuna something or other. I got some flour tortillas, and I have an assortment of condiments. Oh, I'm also going to put some cashews in here. I need to go grab those. And hopefully this tortilla will stay together for me. All right, kids, it's cocktail hour here at camp. We've got a margarita and a paloma. Oh, and this is tequila. A couple ounces water in my cup. I'm going to guesstimate on 2 ounces. That's probably way too. And some tequila. A little stir again for me. Cheers, brother.
Cheers. Mm-hmm.
Got some deer out there. I've been trying to film my morning, but the battery on my GoPro keeps dying. I guess because it's pretty chilly this morning. But I did get up, got the fire going, and warm it up. Fix some coffee in a little bit, and then see what the day brings. But welcome to day 3. It's breakfast time. Bacon and eggs that I prepared at home. I also brought some extra bacon, because why not? Maybe a cup or so. Getting there. So, I think it looks pretty good so far. Now, a little tortilla explosion. And just like that, we're all packed up. Fire's dead out. Camp is all cleaned up. Packs are packed and on our backs, and we're ready to head out. Let's do this. But there is a big alligator juniper. Massive. Biggest one we've seen. And it might have some semi-historical value to it. Seems like I recall reading there's a large juniper that the fire crews saved during the wildfire that came through here several years ago. Several pretty nice camp spots along this trail, and then as you saw down at the ranch area, there's a lot of cool spots, and what's nice about them is that none of them are really close to the other ones, so you could have several groups camped in that valley and not hardly hear the person next to you. Descending pretty quickly. fairly steep trail. We just started up from the intersection that splits Reavis Ranch Trail and Rogers Canyon Trail. So it's a bit of uphill from here, and we're heading up there to that little pass just around the corner there. Not sure how far, a mile or two, and then we'll be at the truck. Whew. Thank goodness. We are just about back to the truck. You can see it up there. I'm not gonna lie, that climb up Rogers Trough was much more difficult than I thought it was going to be. However, we've made it. We're gonna take these packs off, rest for a minute, hop in the truck, and drive down the bumpy road out of here. Victory is ours.